to the start list for the women's 100-metre hurdles. And Sherryl Morrow, the heptathlete who this season is specialising in the hurdles and the high jump. We saw her in action in Perth. Jackie Monroe in 2. Clare Thompson, the heptathlete based at the AIS in Canberra, in 3. Well, Simone Purvis, she knows this track well. Unfortunately for her, she fell over at the second last hurdle at the World Junior Championships here. Devastation for her there, but can make amends here. Nicole Gale in 5. Good to see Jane Flemming back on the track, the golden girl from the 1990 Commonwealth Games. And businesswoman now, but still continuing her track and field career, has put the heptathlon on hold and will concentrate on both the 100 and 400-metre hurdles this season. Rachel Links in 7, Debbi Edwards in 8, and Donna Hanna in lane 9. And Steve Monaghetti, there's Jane Flemming. She'll be a little bit nervous. First run for the season for her in the special new outfit.
Good looking gear there. She's certainly she's got a lot of business going, as you mentioned, Dose, but business out on the track tonight, that's where it'll be. And the people beside her won't be worrying about her business acumen, and it's different once you're out on the track. Good to see her back running, and I'm sure she doesn't step on the track unless she's in good shape. I'd be happy to say, stick my neck out and say she's the most competitive athlete I've ever met.
Just getting a few last-minute tips there from Kyle Vanderkuyp. He'll go in the men's hurdles in just a few moments. But how will she be feeling tonight? You know what it's like to have come back from a bit of a layoff and injury. The butterflies will certainly be going, and perhaps a little bit of nervous conversation.
Yeah, to be honest, I think she'd be looking forward to it, and I'll be interested to see her reaction. Hopefully, if she wins, we'll get an interview with Jane or otherwise. But I think she'll be excited. She'd be glad to get back on the track. It's all the hard work when you're not, you know, behind the scenes. It can be tough. It's once you get to this stage, you're almost looking forward to the event itself.
Well, there's Simone Purvis. She was almost like in fact, she was the giggling teenager in Perth when she realised that she'd be running against her idol, Jane Flemming. She said she couldn't believe it. She said she's watched her on TV all these years, and now I'm going to get to run against her. There's Clare Thompson. Thompson and Flemming share coaches, Craig Hilliard. Flemming now based in Sydney. Clare Thompson moved from Queensland to go down to the AIS in Canberra. Personal best there of 13.89, but more of a heptathlon specialist. Had a couple of years off where she actually, they thought for a little while that she might have cancer, but fortunately for her that wasn't the case. There's 186, Debbi Edwards from New South Wales.
You can see there Jane sitting down on the track as she does it. It's amazing, you know, after all these years we still go back to our same preparation before the event. Jane always goes through this ritual, and nothing changed. It's good to see she's back to using those successful techniques. That's what's worked for her in the past, and she's using it again here tonight. You
can see her there just bobbing the head as she clears each hurdle. 3 steps between each of these hurdles. 10 flights, 100 metres a distance, and Flemming, a great personal best, 12.98. Only 2 Australians all time have dipped under the 13-second mark. Flemming is 1. Pam Ryan, of course, the 68 silver medalist, is the other. 12.93 is her national record. They won't get anywhere near that today, I wouldn't imagine. But for Jane, important that she gets through this race unscathed. As we look at Clare Thompson, big moment for these young athletes.
It's funny how some things stick in your mind. Every time I see these hurdles being put up for a women's event, I think back to Barcelona in 1992, and a girl called Patuladu, I think her name is, the first Greek woman to ever win a gold medal in a track event.
Of course, Galdiva's there almost all over the winner. Fell up the last hurdle, and Patadaloo or Padudaloo or...
Well, I think a Greek cab driver told me it was Pataludu, but it's hard to get out of the habit of saying Patuladu or Pataludu. But anyway, she's a Greek girl. She knows who she is, and she won it. And she was basically, I guess, even lucky to make the final on times. And it just goes to show, Steve Monaghetti, you get to an Olympic final and anything can happen.
That's right. Certainly, Galdiva's thought you had it won, but you got to clear it. That's what the hurdles are about. You got to get over them before you can get to the finish line.
So for these young athletes, and one old athlete, Jane Flemming, just being introduced now, 31 years of age, recently married to longtime boyfriend Matt Favier in Melbourne. And they've put the honeymoon on hold until after the season, so certainly a very focused athlete.
31 years old. Gee, I hope that's not old, Dave. Not yet, anyway.
Well, me being just a youngster, Mona, 31 seems like an eternity away.
Call to the blocks now for the women's 100-metre hurdles. Jane Flemming, making a return to the track, will run from lane 6. Field of 9. There she is, just bolt upright in the blocks now and in centre camera. Morrow, Monroe, Thompson, Purvis, Gale, Flemming links, and she's not quite happy there, Jane. She put her hand in the air to indicate that she wanted to reset herself. I got to her in lane 6, Jane Flemming, Rachel Links in 7, Debbi Edwards in 8, and Donna Hanna on the outside of the field of 9.
Shows her immense experience, though. She wasn't ready, and she did take quite some time to get down into her on the marks and set position, and I'm sure the starter will give her a little bit of a hurry up. But as is her right, she put her hand in the air, signalling to the starter that she wasn't ready.
Morrow, Malone, Thompson, Purvis, Gale, Flemming, Links, Edwards, Hanna. Away for a fair start this time. Flemming was away fairly in the centre. Everyone here inside, Gale and Purvis going quickly as well. Back on the inside, Thompson, Morrow and Monroe. Back on this side was Donna Hanna. Jane Flemming locked in a battle with Nicole Gale. Flemming's in front and Flemming wins from Gale. It's very tight for third. Simone Purvis was there, and back over on the inside, Morrow, Monroe, Thompson. But Jane Flemming returns. 13:89 was the time recorded.
Well, she was, took a while to get to them, but plenty of determination for Jane Flemming. She's a little bit rusty over the hurdles. You can see here that she's probably clearing them by more than she would like. Gale and both Gale and Purvis, the two teenagers right there by her side, but Flemming prevails. Gale clipped that one, and that was enough to give Jane Flemming the margin of victory. We can see here the head-on. From the right of screen is Thompson, Purvis, Gale and Flemming. You can see Jane Flemming just, in comparison to Gale particularly, Gale right down low over the hurdles.
Certainly taking no risk there, Dave. She's clearing those pretty comfortably.
There's Purvis there. Have a look at the trail leg of Purvis. That was the one that got her in all sorts of bother here at the World Juniors. Doesn't really clear the hurdles, comes across very low. Gale dips, but not quite enough, and a little bit of relief for Jane Flemming. She's with Amanda to pledge.
Jane Flemming, it must be good to be back and to be in winning form.
I'm just glad to get through it, actually. I haven't raced for 19 months, so even to look at 10 flights of hurdles is a bit scary. And I had a little bit of a hiccup in my warm-up, so I was just glad to get through it, to tell you the truth.
And what were you thinking when you're sort of checking out your opposition? I guess there's a few new faces there, and you're sort of thinking, hang on, I'm back and I am the original queen, so watch out.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't hurdle very well. I must admit I warmed up better than that, but as I said, I had a hiccup. Hopefully from now on it'll just get better. I've certainly blown a few cobwebs out, and I think maybe just my experience the last 50 metres pulled me through, but I don't really like to rely too much on that.
Now, what about the rest of the year? What are your goals from here? I guess now you're over this initial hurdle, that you sort of want to sort of concentrate on what you're going to be up to for the next of the year.
Yeah, well, I'm actually planning on running a 400-metre hurdles at some stage, and obviously some more sprint hurdles, but I'm just going to take it as it comes on. You know, I'm almost a novice back here again with this, having not raced for so long, so I just hope to enjoy it from now. There's too many butterflies to enjoy it today, but hopefully next meet I'll have a bit of a smile on my face even beforehand.
Jane Flemming, great to have you back. Terrific.
Thank you very much. Good to be back. It's a great crowd in Sydney too. It's great.
Well, it is a great crowd, Jane, and there are the results. 13:88 for her. Not her best time, but a win for her in her first race back. Nicole Gale in second, Simone Purvis in third, and Sherryl Morrow. She's been performing exceptionally well. She was in fourth place. So from the women's results in the hurdles, we go to the javelin.
Gavin Lovegrove on the runway